Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Method to the Madness, our Breaking Bad edition. I'm your host Mitchie, and joining me as usual is Patrick.
Hello.
And this time we're covering episode 4 of season 5, I believe is titled 51. What does it actually refer to?
That's a good question. I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I don't remember any specific reference to 51 in the episode, but yeah, I feel like we should know if we're doing a podcast on it. But Walt's 51st birthday.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, that's a stupid,
We're
easily.
dumb.
Yeah, we are. Anyway, can you take us through the plot summary, please?
Yeah. After being repaired, Walt impulsively sells his Pontiac Aztec to a mechanic for $50 and leases himself a new Chrysler 300 and a Dodge Challenger for Walt Jr. At Madrigal's Houston, Texas branch, Lydia's inside man for methylamine is arrested by the DEA. Mike reassures Lydia that Ron will not talk, adding that she will have a new guy in the warehouse soon. The next day, Special Agent Raimi offers Hank the position of ASAC, vacated by Merkert. Hank accepts, even though his pursuit of Heisenberg will be given to a field agent. That evening, the Whites and the Schraders finish a meager 51st birthday dinner for Walt. After Walt Jr. leaves, Walt notices that it has been a year since his cancer diagnosis. As he reflects, a fully clothed Skyler steps into the pool and slowly submerges herself. Marie panics while Walt jumps in to pull her out. Walt then learns that Skyler has asked Marie and Hank to look after the kids until her issues with Walt are resolved. Skyler insists that she will not have her children living in a house where dangerous events that occur are just shrugged off. She threatens to further harm herself, to fake spousal abuse, and to send Walt Jr. to boarding school if Walt brings the kids back home, but he belittles her plans as unworkable. Breaking down and realizing there is no way out of her situation without hurting her family, she relents to his arguments, but not without admitting to him that her only option is the hope that Walt's cancer will come back and kill him. At the warehouse, Lydia leads Jesse to a barrel of methylamine. They find a GPS tracker on the bottom of a barrel, compromising it. Mike is skeptical that the tracker was planted by the DEA because of its crude placement on the bottom of the barrel. When informed by Jesse that it was Lydia who spotted it first, Mike concludes that Lydia planted it herself in order to get out of their deal and vows to kill her. Jesse pleads for Mike to show mercy and asks for Walt's opinion. Walt votes to keep her alive, so no time is lost finding a new precursor supply. Jesse later gives Walt a Tag Heuer Caliber 12 wristwatch as a birthday present, which pleases Walt. End of episode.
I can't believe the car's gone.
I know, the iconic car.
Yeah, I feel like it was just like such a good car to symbolize Walt's kind of shitty life at the very beginning of the TV series.
Yeah, his like dorkiness.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Like his dorkiness. Like the car looks just strange, but then this mechanic is like praising the shit out of it, saying like it's everyone takes a piss out of it, but it's like, man, I love this car. It's gonna last for so long and all this and that. Then he just sells it for $50.
Yeah, what a deal.
Yeah.
And he finds the gunky buildup in the front of it, which is most likely human remains.
Yeah. So was the last time we saw this car when he totaled it when he was driving Hank around?
Yeah.
Fuck, that was actually a while ago.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, geez. It's kind of interesting, like, I appreciate Breaking Bad for just tying off every loose end, because it's like the car has meaning, I guess. It's a good symbol for Walt because, personally, I've never seen a car like that before. And I think that's the point, right? Like, they picked a car that looks shit, but not many people drive it. So then it's quite connected to Walt. So that most people who've seen this show, if they see that car on the street, in their life, they'll be like just instantly reminded of Breaking Bad. And I just like how they tie that off because they kind of have to, because it's such a good symbol.
Yeah, definitely. One thing about Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is that no detail is too insignificant.
Exactly.
Everything is worthy of some screen time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he also pulls the hat out of the back, and we get the return of the iconic look.
Yeah, can't believe that was just left in the car. So Hank gets a promotion, which he seems a little unsure to take. He doesn't seem like he wants to take it. And I mean, why wouldn't he want to take it? I mean, I guess he just likes being a field man, right? Like, likes to get in deep and dirty on the drug enforcement stuff. And now he's going to get into more politics and stuff like that. He seems, I don't know, just not too happy about it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. He likes chasing the bad guys. Is it this episode or the next one where he says to Walt Jr. like, "Oh, hey, I got Heat on Blu-ray. Do you want to watch it with me later?"
Yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah, I just thought that was very relevant. Like Hank liking Heat because he is exactly the type of man who needs. He's the cat who needs a mouse to chase. You know.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sort of is like Heat. This whole Breaking Bad. I mean, obviously not, but. Like exactly like it, but there's a lot of influence from it. I actually watched Heat like a few months ago.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah, it's an interesting film.
Yeah, it's a bit too long, but
it was fucking long. Yeah, but it's very contemplative, which I didn't expect. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it needed it. Anyway, we shouldn't talk about Heat.
Yeah. I guess the critical scene in this episode is the birthday party scene. No one seems to care about Walt's birthday, and he's becoming very arrogant, right? Like, we see this massive change because it's only been surprisingly 1 year since he started this whole methamphetamine endeavor. And, you know, obviously in the first episode, he had his 50th birthday party, and there were a shitload of people at his house. He didn't expect to have a party. You know, he didn't seem to care so much about his own birthday. And now he's like expecting everyone to do something. When he's talking to Skyler, he's like, well, you know, I know you might have something planned, and obviously she doesn't have anything planned. And he's like, you know, but it's okay if you don't have anything planned. But he's obviously expecting her to do something, and it's just like he's just becoming super arrogant, you know, like not even considering exactly what Skyler's going through. Just thinks about his own birthday.
Yeah,
like,
he's kind of delusional. Like he thinks everything is just like how it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except he's more arrogant, and nothing kind of shows your arrogance more than, you know, expecting a birthday party on your birthday. Everyone should be modest on their birthday. True. Especially when he's like to Jesse, like, can you pack up for me? It's my birthday.
And Jesse's the only one that gives him a present too, looks like.
Yeah, that was fucking wholesome though.
Yeah, it was, eh?
Yeah,
Jesse's
just so nice. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and then Skyler obviously has a breakdown, and that's it kind of reminds me of the breakdown she had when she wanted to tell Marie and Hank, because it was exactly the same table, right? Exactly the same table, exactly same guests. I think it was like a little bit less than a year ago. They didn't know, Hank and Marie didn't know about Walt's cancer, and she kind of broke down. She cried, and then they obviously told him. And this time she kind of does a very similar thing, except is a bit more dramatic, walks into the pool, and is a completely different reason behind it. But man, there's just a lot of parallels between this and those few odd meetings from a year ago. And it's just great because they obviously did it very deliberately. They chose the same table, same location, and etc. because they want you to be reminded of what it was like 1 year ago, what it was like 4 seasons ago. And so much has changed, you know.
I love how there's that shot of the pool and it looks like the meth like in liquid form.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Because like it just fills up the entire screen.
That pool is really blue.
Yeah, and I find it really interesting that, you know, when we get the slow zoom in of Walt talking about like, oh, you know, 1 year ago I got diagnosed. It kind of seems like he's saying that he's happy for like the first time in his life or something like that, you know, like maybe not the first time in his life, but for the first time in a long time compared to how he was last year, you know, severely depressed.
Yeah.
And yeah, what he's saying is like, oh, I didn't have the will to live, but now I do. Which is, you know, kind of deeply sad because Skyler is going through hell. But yeah.
Yeah, she was brutal, this episode. Like, that whole final scene where they're kind of arguing about what her plan is, like, and she admits that she's not like so savvy as Walt is and is just trying to do her best to protect her children. Like, I fully understand where she's coming from, and man, it hits hard when she's just says that she's expecting Walt to die or waiting for Walt to die. And yeah, unfortunately that's not really going to happen anytime soon. Like, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? Like, Walt becomes this kind of not evil, but contemptible character, and, you know, is risking the safety of his own family and not looking after his wife. And yet the cancer isn't coming back. It's gone, and he's very healthy as opposed to a year ago.
Yeah, I like how, this season is by far the biggest change for Walt and Skyler. And
Yeah.
we've seen the coming episodes that she, once the kids are out of the house, she has a bit more leverage, and she can talk back to Walt and stuff. And she, it's really good how she kind of keeps him in check for like the next few episodes. Because it's this Walt is just out of control. So it leads to some very good conversations.
Yeah. It's a lot has changed in their relationship. It's just such a dynamic marriage.
Yeah. Don't know if that's what you want in a marriage, but maybe.
Yeah, and then Marie and Hank just have no idea what's going on. They just think that Skyler cheated on him. It's just
Yeah. What did you reckon, going back to the beginning, how German Lydia was speaking German? And I thought it sounded like, to me, she was very fluent.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, she definitely had an accent, but she was very good. I wonder if she, when you see that kind of shit happen in movies, do you reckon she learned the language, or she just kind of learned how to say a few sentences properly just for that scene?
I always wondered that as well. Like, I was watching the Moon Knight the other day, and there's a scene where the bad guy's like speaking Mandarin. Like, I don't know a word of Mandarin, but even I could tell that was absolute fucking dog shit. And I saw a tweet from Simu Liu, who played Shang-Chi, and he was like, he needs to fire his fucking teacher or whatever. Like, holy.
It's her German was pretty good, but they weren't actually talking about anything meaningful. They were talking about just company shit. I paused it and tried to translate it with a bit of help, and it turns out it's not anything special, so no Easter egg there. It reminds me also, I watched this film the other day with, who's the main dude in 1917?
The actor? I can't remember.
Yeah. You know the main dude, right?
Yeah.
It's like this movie about 1930, like the Czechoslovakia splitting, or, being taken over by the Nazis. And he's
the
like
one where
this
he's
English
a spy?
dude. Yeah, he's a spy for the English.
Yeah.
Not really, but he is a spy, and he speaks German a lot in that movie. And he's definitely got an accent, but it's actually pretty good. And I'm pretty sure he must have learned it for that, because it's quite extensive. So I don't know, just actors learning languages specifically because they have to for a film, that's like pretty impressive. Or that maybe they just knew it beforehand.
George McKay, I think, is his name.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Australian actor,
Yeah, that's it. He's Australian,
Yeah.
Also, one aspect I really liked about this was the very end when they're talking about Lydia, and Mike says, like, that's what I get for being sexist, when he refers to not killing Lydia because she's a female, and obviously he feels bad for killing her because she's a female, and if he finds it a lot easier to kill men. And there's this kind of like interesting ideal about Lydia, like she's clearly nuts, right? And she's going to fuck him over. Like, I don't see that not being a possibility. Like, I wouldn't trust Lydia. She doesn't seem like a very nice person at all, right? But everyone's kind of like, being on her side or giving her a chance because she is a female. And there was just an interesting dialogue in that scene where it's like, just because I can't remember exactly what Mike said, but it's like, just because she's a female, she's not seen as psychopathic. She's just seen as uptight. And it was this constant repetition of like, she's just uptight. And even Hank says that when they're he's talking to Steve after they come back from arresting that dude at the start of the episode. And Steve was like, there's nothing wrong with her. She's just a bit uptight. And Hank was like the one that was kind of a bit skeptical, saying like she was wearing odd shoes. And it's just interesting. Like, you can see the real like sexist bias there, because it's like, oh, it's a woman, she can't be that bad kind of thing, right? When in reality, anyone can be just as bad as anyone. It doesn't matter what sex or gender you are. So I don't know. I just kind of like that. It's like Breaking Bad being kind of very aware of that, I suppose, saying that it doesn't matter if you're a male or female, you can still be a fucked up person.
Maybe that's why Todd likes her. Because she's kind of like psychopathic.
Potentially. Yeah. It's just, I found it very interesting. And even the episode after this, they still kind of like support Lydia more. And I really don't like her. Like, she's bad.
Also, kind of a good little detail to give to show that Hank is like a really good detective too. How he notices the shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's switched on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got two more things. The bit where Bonfire is playing, where they're revving the cars. I just thought that was such a 2000s moment.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah.
That was funny. No, I dig it though. And then we got the last shot of the zooming in on the watch ticking of time running out, I suppose, is what that is conveying.
Okay.
Not sure why. Like out of every episode, this episode is like, oh, Walt's time is gone. I don't know. Like, I feel like there wasn't any significant decision that was made this episode that would warrant that kind of like meaning put into the last shot. But I suppose I don't know. It's just a general thing about Breaking Bad, about Walter making bad decisions and not being able to go back.
Yeah, he's always under the pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, me too. Should we wrap up?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Join us next time for episode 5. This next episode is epic.
Hell yeah. See you later.
Boy.
Cut the crap and keep the methylene coming.
You don't know this woman like I do. I had a chance to deal with this before, and I gave her a pass. It's what I get for being sexist. Now, if you excuse me.
Mike, you can't just... Look, that's our precursor. We need her.
Kid, if we have to ramp down for a while, so be it. It beats working with a lunatic who's gonna get us arrested or killed.
Look, she didn't seem crazy to me, you know? She just seemed like uptight.
And now you're being sexist. Trust me, this woman deserves to die as much as any man I've ever met.
If you like this series, Mitch is going to tell you where you can find more of these.
Yep, so you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. And we've also got a website, amttm.com, where you can find our fabulous episodes on Breaking Bad.
If you have any questions, queries, insights, or criticism, you can send them to mail@amttm.com.
And as always, thank you for listening.